Hey guys, good morning. This is video time. You will see very fast why I'm not a huge YouTube star, but I really wanted to connect with you guys this morning and just say like, hey, how are you? Make sure, I had a chance to just tell you a little bit about where we are, where we're going. I really wish I could hear from you about like what's going on and how you're feeling about all of this, which is super wacky, obviously. I want you to know I am incredibly on board and ready to work with you guys through this sort of new, weird digital transition land. But yeah, welcome back. Obviously, I just want to give you a sense of where I am, what's going on. I'm in my apartment, and you can tell I'm not actually fronting. I got a lot of books, got some plants, got some more books, a lot of books. I do, in fact, read all the time. So welcome to my apartment. And Inwood. I assume you guys are sort of either physically in school or at home, keeping yourselves safe and clean and well rested and eating your food and doing your thing. And I really want to just shout out to those of you who are taking care of yourselves and making sure that you're healthy and that your family is healthy. And that's, of course, ironically why I'm not there right now. So I want to just, before I even do this whole thing, I wanted to show you real quick. I have a schedule like I always do on the board. It's reversed, so you can't really tell what it is, but I'm going off of the same stuff I always do when I work with you at Orange. And the first thing I want to do today is just go over the goal of this brief video, this class. And that's just to reconnect, to sort of ground ourselves, get organized. I want to review the concept of literary allegory. You'll see how I'm going to do that in a minute. I want to read a little Dante Canto V and just get you guys set up to do this thing. So, an allegory. Around the middle of my life, halfway, on a path in northwest China in a place called Qinghai. This, by the way, is a true story, but it is also an allegory. In Qinghai in China, I was 25. And I was trying to hike around a mountain called Amne Machen. Google that. It's one of the Tibetan holy mountains. And I had convinced myself and my partner at the time that we could hike around it and that it was going to be a really exciting trip. About 4 days into this trip, it started raining intensely, horribly. And we realized that we were totally lost. We didn't know where we were, in the middle of the Himalayas, and we decided to turn around. I went to the top of a small mountain nearby, looked around, was like, we're super screwed, don't know where we are, and we turned around. On the way back, we were struck by this storm, and we're fine. We shelter in the tent and we're ultimately okay. But the next day, things were looking pretty dire. It was not a good time. And we saw this dude, this man with a yak. Actually, I have a photo of him here if you'll indulge me for a minute. He was a really nice guy. And he had this big old yak and a little yak along with it. This is weird, I know, but you can kind of see it there. Dude with yak. And we felt really comforted by this. We were like, oh, this is great, this is fine. And only later, when I saw more yaks coming over this hill, yaks with carrying a bunch of stuff on their back, and I thought, oh, this is good. There's some more people. This is going to be great. And in fact, I looked up and saw this dog running towards me, this big-ass black dog. And I remember having just long enough to yell, dog, before he had leaped at me and attacked me and took a big chunk out of my leg and was jumping up at my face. And I'm oh, this is really bad. This is gonna suck. This sucks a lot. And yeah, he took a pretty good chunk. I was pretty injured there for a while. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, that sucked. It was not a good time for me. And I thought that this journey would be a sort of like effective thing, and it wasn't. And so I had to make a hard choice. I wanted to continue, and I wanted to keep hiking, and I wanted to keep exploring China, but I couldn't. And in fact, I realized pretty quickly that having been bitten by a dog in northwest China, I had a pretty good chance of having rabies. So I made some phone calls. My partner and I talked to the locals and found out that there was really no treatment for rabies there. And I took a 14-hour bus back to the nearest city and got a plane ticket home and was broke as hell because it's pretty expensive, and felt really, really, really miserable about all of it because I'd really only had about, I don't know, like a 1% chance of having rabies. This dog probably didn't have it, but then again, maybe it did. And I did this kind of calculation, like, seemed like it mattered that I should probably try not to get rabies because if I got it, I'd be dead. 100% dead with rabies. And I'm really glad that I took the precaution and came home, even though I was on a trip I really loved with people I cared about and having a good time, because I wanted to make sure that I was safe. Obviously, this is an allegory for the situation that we are currently in. It is also, again, a true story. But I just want to tell you guys that I am like really sad not to be with you in Orange, and sad not to be able to continue the class the way that we would normally do it. But I think as much as that journey was like really exciting for us, we need to take care of ourselves and make sure that we're safe, even if the risk of us getting sick is super small, even if the risk is like 0.1%. And in this case, it's less, honestly. But it's not fair to anybody to put themselves in a position of feeling endangered just because we want to be together, or like I want to be at school. Also, I hope you caught that was like a Dante allegory. Like I was on a path, there was a mountain, there's a real dog. All true, again, but like, whoa, right? So the other thing I want to talk about, I want to move forward and talk a little bit about the logistics of this thing. I doubt we will be in class for the next month. Technically, we're supposed to come back on the 27th. I think it's unlikely. And because of that, I'm going to set up a bunch of stuff. Already you've gotten some notes from Google Classroom about Perusall, and I'm actually really excited about that. I'm going to upload PDFs. It'll be free. You won't have to pay anything for the texts. Sorry about that kind of like notification that you might have had to. I'm going to upload everything. I also have a feeling that I'm going to be doing a short video every morning. Or if not every morning, at least like one real video a week. They're gonna suck, they're gonna be like this. I don't know, man, maybe I'll get better. I hope I will. And that'll give you something to hold on to as you go through thinking about the week. The other logistics, I will be available for office hours, for like video chats or just text or just email. I think email is probably the best way to get a hold of me. Also, you can text me if you need to. My email and phone number are both on Google Classroom. So in the coming week, a lot of what we're going to do is set up. We're going to get used to Perusall. We're going to get used to like doing some of these videos, and you guys are just going to hopefully like take care of yourselves and make sure that you're ready to roll. So in terms of the organization, the things that I expect from you, that by tomorrow for sure you are registered on Perusall. And that you have a chance to actually start reading that way. I'll say this again at the end of the video, but I want you to make sure you have made 2 comments on Perusall by tomorrow, and 2 responses to other people's comments. I want to get a conversation going. We're going to work just in Canto V and Canto VI. Then, once that we get things going, once we get a little reading done, I'm going to start a project so that you guys can sort of like follow Dante and think through it on your own. But I want to be honest with you, it's important just to get your bearings first. And like this video, it's kind of okay if you're not sure what you're doing to start off. I just want to be in touch with you guys and have your good faith efforts to like get this thing going, because we do not want to lose the opportunity to have you learn about both Dante and Kendrick and Pan's Labyrinth. If you watch Pan's Labyrinth, that's amazing. We will come back to that, I promise. I watched it again this weekend and it was like so weird. I love it. So before I totally lose all of your attention, I want to spend just a little time actually reading from Canto V just to get you going. Sorry, this is, I know, like incredibly awkward. Oh yeah, that's my lamp. I'm going to read just a little bit of Canto V. What I'd like you to do today is to finish reading Canto V. I'll read just the first page with you, and I want you guys to finish it. Canto V. So I descended from first to second circle, which girdles a smaller space and greater pain, which spurs more lamentation. Minos the dreadful snarls at the gate. He examines each one's sin, judging and disposing as he curls his tail. That is, when an ill-begotten soul comes down, it comes before him and confesses all. Minos, great connoisseur of sin, discerns for every spirit its proper place in hell, and wraps himself in his tale with as many turns as levels down that shade will have to dwell. A crowd is always waiting. Here each one learns his judgment and is assigned a place in hell. They tell, they hear, and down they all are cast. You, who have come to sorrow's hospice, think well, said Minos, who at the sight of me had paused to interrupt his solemn task mid-deed. Beware how you come in and whom you trust. Don't be deceived because the gate is wide. My leader answered, Must you scold this way? His destined path is not for you to impede. Thus it is willed where everything may be because it has been willed, so ask no more. And now I can hear the notes of agony, in sad crescendo beginning to reach my ear. Now I am where the noise of lamentation comes at me in blasts of sorrow. I am where all light is mute, with a bellowing like the ocean turbulent in a storm of warring winds, the hurricane of hell in perpetual motion, sweeping the ravaged spirits as it rends, twists, and torments them. Driven as if to land, they reach the ruin, groaning, tears, laments, and cursing power of heaven. That's it, actually. I'm just going to read the first page with you. I want you guys to finish Canto V. Maybe you've already done this, but because things have been so crazy and involved, I wanted to go back over that with you again. But read the rest of Canto V, read Canto VI, make sure that you know this stuff and you're ready to have a discussion about it on perusal. I am going to take a photo of the sheet where my agenda is, and upload it onto Google Classroom along with the link to this YouTube video. And I want you guys please to register on perusal. This is like a 13-minute video. I hope I haven't completely blown your mind with boredom. And if you want, I'll upload more pictures of me getting utterly shit on by that dog. But in the meantime, I really hope you guys are well. And I want you to know that as weird as this is, I'm excited about working on this with you. So hang in there. And also, I don't know, make sure you get some time outside to breathe and be human. And eat some, I don't know, vegetables or something. Whatever. All right, guys, take care. I will talk to you soon, either digitally or, well, digitally.